what's up, fam? After a long wait of, I remember this was one of the scenes I was looking really forward to getting animated, out of the pre Alvarez arc of Fairy Tail in the anime. Probably the number one, prior to the arc, running in this whole Avatar little spectacle. Because we already talked about, they're not a lot of big deal, and I mean, they're like straight out of time skip training arc enemies, which I usually refer to them as measuring stick characters. They're really just there for characters to show off like progress to get beat. And seeing Iku Satsunagi was pretty cool. I like some of the scenes with them. I like how they added a little bit more because they added him like doing a couple more slash attacks, which I think was cool. I like seeing like he didn't just do more than just the one slash when he put down. Because we only I don't know why Hiro Mishima made the 18 battle gods when he's only shown two of them, and we still know nothing about the Yakuma people. But whatever. What I am pretty happy about is when I see like scenes and when I see adaptations of scenes, unless the anime is like super high pristine quality animation, something like around the clock, you're just like, damn, this budget. It's something crazy. As long as I can get a good gif out of a scene, is really kind of what I'm looking for, and like fight scenes. Because obviously, even though this was a cool scene, the coolest scene of this whole bit is like when Natsu's standing on that hill, looking off at Iku Satsunagi, like literally right now, the one that's up. That's one of my favorite panels. Just the way it's kind of like Jesus, like Natsu versus the world, almost kind of like just the way that it kind of looks, and you'd have like just this behemoth like head up to cloud level Natsu looking pretty small but ready, and then next the moment he's crawled up the sword, goes on this whole speech obviously of not letting these guys tear him down, and they're he's not gonna let any more of his friends die. It's just a pretty good moment for him. I like that he holds relevancy of the events of the last arc, and obviously what happened with Ignil and all the characters that went through some heavy loss. Gray with his dad, Lucy with Aquarius, Urza reliving like kind of like the torture she got when she was a slave, and Natsu just like I said, it's Ignil gone. This kind of like played a heavy burden on a lot of them, and then Natsu kind of like building off of that. And I thought it looked good, not like not great, but like just the way that it looked. I actually really like the he punches him, all the cracks, and then just Ika Satsunagi explodes. I thought that was cool. I would have liked it if they obviously had a bigger budget towards some of this, but I am happy where it kind of put off on the side of this the way that the flames have been really consistently good looking. They've been really well animated. Obviously, you want your main characters, his whole base aspect to look good. Obviously, not his fire. So keeping that up is cool. And as long as when they get to the actual fights, I will be pretty happy. Because like this, even though this wasn't the best animated, I like some of the scenes actually where Iko Sasaki he's like doing his slash attacks. I thought those were cool, and it didn't bother me too much that his demolition fist wasn't like crazily animated. I like the whole build up to it, the way that you can see him like through the flames and the way that flames look. I thought that was cool as hell, and I'm gonna be no a little bit. I won't say optimistic, a little bit less judgmental until we get to some of the fights. As long as they do stuff like the whole bit when they first meet like Brandish and Exir. I won't get into spoilers in case you haven't watched unless you haven't read the manga and you're just anime guy and you're usually watching this review only knowing anime stuff. I won't spoiler anything about that. I said it's just the names. When they get into those occurrences, as long as they animate those well, I'll be perfectly happy. But the rest of the chapter, obviously, I like the Avatar people running away, just like yeah, we're done here, we're getting out of here. Gadgil showing up, saying he's throwing everyone under arrest, and everyone's reaction to him being a part of the council was pretty hilarious. And then just like yeah, Gadgil being part of the council doesn't make sense. What's with this imposter? And little Panther Lily like assures it. And this actually leads up to one of the things that if it the I'm waiting to the end of Fairy Tail or a confirmation of Hiroshima to really kind of judge this specific scene of when uh, Rogue's shadow kind of fades away, because his shadow was with him his whole life, and this moment it wasn't when it was created, so it shouldn't really be. It shouldn't be a point where future Rogue could kind of like stems his whole thing out of, because if the shadow has been with him his whole life, and it somehow like Frosh not dying here erases it, it wouldn't really make sense. If it if it's just kind of something that prolongs it, that'll be different if it comes back way later, or he's just like you find out he finds a way to suppress it, or keep it away from him, or maybe him and the shadow I don't have their had a kind of like an understanding, because obviously it seems like it has its own personality, and just kind of when it gets to the point where I don't know that he kind of has his own style of doing things, and once we get to that point, because it was a little bit rough the explanation, because he kind of explains it as being its own thing, but at the same time, it's future Rogue kind of had some influence on that first meeting of when they met up to each other, and it opens up I would say a bit of an issue. Nothing big, because I mean it's small time stuff of a plot that doesn't need to really happen again, but just exists, and that's something that we'll find out along the way. So it'll be pretty cool once we get to that bit with Rogue and Frosh, if that ever happens to come back. I don't know if it will or not. It's uh it's just a plot point that if it happens to come back, then it'll be fine. I won't really be too keen if it just doesn't exist anymore, and for some reason that erases the shadow ever. I don't know. It's it's a little bit weird, but if it does happen, then I'll complain. That's something that one day, if it's just like, yeah, it's never happened, that it disappeared that day when Gray didn't kill Frost, I'd be like, okay, that doesn't make sense, but whatever. It's that at that point I'll be like, this is stupid. That shouldn't be the case. But we'll see as it goes. Maybe it'll come back and he'll learn how to like hone it, and that'll be a spin-off chapter plot if they do another Twin Dragons of Sabretooth spin-off. Anyway, I've been rambling. I've been rambling too much. And what I'm actually really excited for is the next episode is going to be on Zaref's backstory flashback memoirs chapter, and it looks like they're just going to be using that chapter and turning it into a full episode. So we're going to be getting extra stuff, which would be pretty cool, expanding out some of the scenes, and maybe adding in some extra bits, which I look forward to. I'd like to see some more of Mildia and Zareth's kind of up and coming. Maybe we could see him make his first demons, and something like that could be used for later. But otherwise, yeah. Tell me what you think about this episode in the description, and if you like Fairy Tail, you're really into it like I am. So hopefully I can get you to like and subscribe to the channel. I'm a big fan of the series. It's my favorite manga, and the anime. I've been looking forward to see them handle certain things, and what they change and maybe add in to the rest of the story. But otherwise, yeah, thank you very much for listening, and if you're subscribed already,